Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this card. So first of all I'm going to need some DL multifarious card, a size 7 stencil brush and some Elements Ink Sundance. And what we're going to do is just very lightly build up a bit of a circle in the top half of the card. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this lovely flower and ink her in Versafine Clair Nocturne. And we'll put it so the bloom is smack dab in the middle of that lovely yellow. Lovely. So next we're going to do some more stamping. This time it's the smaller flowers. And I'm just going to add them around the base of this flower. Now I've inked them up in Versafine Clair Hawthorn Rose. And try and fit a petal in between the gap of that stamp. Add some more. So we've got a beautiful floral base at the bottom, flower in the centre, and that's us for stamping really, for the time being. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the Mondeluz Watercolour Pencils, and these are the ones I've chosen to use. Okay, so I'm going to start with my pinks. We're going to start at the edge of the blossom, making it darker at the tip of the petal. And then what we're going to do is take the yellow, and this one oddly enough is just called yellow, and we're just going to add some yellow to the centre. And that's what we're going to do all the way across these blossoms. So I'm just going to do this really quickly, and once it's done, we'll move on to the next step. So I'm just going to colour in the outside edge of the flower with, and it's a lovely pinky red. Okay, now we're going to move on to this one. So we'll start with the red right at the base down here, and I'm colouring it on the side. So the darker red pushing slightly harder on the lead right at the very base. Okay. Okay, so that's where my red's starting. Then I'm going to take a little bit of pink, not much, but we'll just phase it out a little. Then some of this orange. Leaving just the curly tips yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of oomph to the yellow of the flower by adding some more, so the very tips of the blossom, and fade this yellow into that orange. Super. Yeah, and then we've got this lovely bright looking flower. Now you can bring your red up a little bit more now that you can see what it all looks like. Okay. sometimes just by going back in and deepening that lower colour, you can see the flowers start to come alive again. There we go. Now I am going to use a green, but we'll come back to that a little bit later once we've coloured in this bit. And for this, what we're going to use is Elements Ink Dark Denim. Just grab yourself a Series 9 stencil brush and get some of this dark denim on your brush and build up the colour from the edges in. Now the idea is, if you like, that this is a night scene and this lily perhaps comes out at night with the stars. I like to think of her as a star lily or a stargazing lily. So try and get as close as you can to the flowers below. You can go just that little bit over the top of the pink flowers at the base of the card, because they will be bathed in darkness too. And we'll just build this colour up. And you can see how, as we're doing this darker edge, the colours in the centre are coming alive. And we're going to take some of that colour right to the very bottom as well. And I love how each pass of the brush creates this vortex, if you like, that pulls you in to see what's going on with this flower. Okay, so taking a watercolour brush and number 902 from Kuretake Starry Colours, I'm just going to take a little bit of this colour and I'm just going to water it down and just do a little bit of painting around the outside of these lovely flowers. Because this little bit of subtle bling just makes them look bathed in starlight. And I love how these pinks and yellows that we've used just gives that subtle hint of colour. Now I am going to take this on my watercolour paintbrush and I'm just going to do some dots rising from our flowers. You can add some more of this. If you wanted to do it in gold pen, don't feel that you have to do it in this. It's just little subtle dots. Take that gold paintbrush again, so more of that starry gold, and we're just going to add it to the tops of the flower. The stamens, I think you'd call them, just to give them a little touch of magic. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yellow watercolour pencil and I'm just going to draw me some orbs. I love how these just add that touch of magic. I'll have a couple of the yellow orbs going up here. Now remember to vary your size, because if you have them all the same size, it loses its effect. We're going to add a mini flower stamp, and I'm inking it up in Bally Blue, and we're just going to get little touches to fill in the gaps. Okay? And if you do second generation stamping, it's more effective because it's just a subtle hint of another coloured flower. To finish off down the bottom here, we're going to add some foil. Just adding a few of the dots with a quickie glue pen. Okay, and a little bit of heat. And and a little bit of purple foil. Let's just make sure that it's all covered. And you can see some little bits of bling coming through there. A little blast with your heat tool. And as I lift it up, you can see a little bit of the bling of purple. It's fab. We're going to add some more bling, but this time we're going to use some pink. Just following some of the dots on this beautiful flower. To make the existing colours pop. So take your pink fab foil, colour side up, and pop it straight over the flower. And then, there we go. Look at that. Comes alive, doesn't it? Super. I'm just going to take a darker blue and go around the bottom of these flowers here. So this is a Mondeluz Watercolour Pencil. Now this one I'm using is called Cobalt Blue. And now you can see that this lovely flower is rising from a bed of blossoms. Okay, let's add a little bit of red to these stamens. Fabulous. Now I'm going to add some more yellow orbs, just tiny ones, round by the flower. Fab. Okay. And we'll just add a little bit of embossing now. So taking your burst of stars and with some Versamark, ink it up. Now I'm not inking up the whole stamp, I'm just inking up about 3/4 of it because we're going to give it just a subtle touch of stars to the top of the card. So I've gone longer on the outside and then shorter over the flower. And then the next thing we do is add our Wow embossing powder. Now in this case we're going to be adding metallic copper sparkle. Look at that. And that's not even dried yet. Look at the sparkle. So let's just put our embossing powder back into the pot. Waste not, want not. There we go. Pop the lid on. And if I put this underneath, you might be able to see it change. So just using the heat tool. There we go. finally, I'm going to find some Elements Ink Graphite and a Series 3 stencil brush. Just going to go around the edges again and pull that focus back into the centre. And there we go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed coming along and making this card with me. Thank you very much. It's been great to have your company. Hopefully see you again soon. Take care. Bye.